You are watching Tech Confessions, created by Amy Lewis and brought to you by VMware.
Hey Emad, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Well, here on Tech Confessions, we like to find out when your software-defined moment was, when you stopped thinking so much about hardware and went full software.
You never go full software, right? I never go full software. First, let me start off by saying, man, this is comfortable. This is amazing. Like, how do I get one of these in the office?
Right? Best set ever.
Yeah, laptop here. I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
All right. So back to your question. So I started off as a customer for a long period of time, right? So I was always responsible for the hardware side of things and the software side of things. And as my career progressed as a consultant, I just had to be more aware of the hardware side and guide customers. But it wasn't really my role anymore. It was more about helping them maintain the applications because that's really where the business side of things, that's where the business really relies on. If their app is down, then their business is down. So my job was to help make sure that those applications were highly available, things like that, so that way the business can continue going no matter where or what the hardware it was on, or if the hardware did fail, these workloads were mobile, right? And or the applications themselves had some sort of HA functionality that if one instance failed, the other one could pick up and the business could sustain and they wouldn't miss a beat.
I think that is so interesting in two ways. Like, first, you've got the slider bar of when you're a customer, oftentimes everything's your problem, to your point. And when you're a partner, their business is your problem.
Yep.
And I think that's such a profound statement to talk about the application is really more important than anything else around it because it's where the business lives.
Exactly.
It's so interesting as you move on that, both on your own personal career and in sort of where problems lie. Because in some ways, that's what we're all about in technology, right? Is how to solve and prevent problems.
Exactly. And now it's even broader now because working at VMware, I'm in charge for this product, vCenter. I'm one of many, myself and Adam Eckerly, and our customer base is, broad. So now we have to make sure that, something like vCenter is always up and available. So we're doing our best to show customers that we are working towards things like that. So, for example, in 6.5, we introduced native high availability for vCenter Server. So that's kind of the first step to making sure that things are getting to application awareness.
How has being a customer and a partner first impacted your kind of service level, your obligation to the broader community as we move into this more software-defined world?
I appreciate things a lot better. So as a customer, of course, I really didn't have any visibility into what was going on, right? I just had to wait until things got released. I didn't really even have a mechanism to provide feedback or have some sort of impact on the product. As a consultant or partner, you get a little bit more of that, but not as much as you would like. Right, you get more visibility in like roadmaps and things like that. But working directly inside of VMware now, I can have effect on the product. I talk to a lot of customers on a daily basis and provide that feedback. I become kind of the feedback mechanism back into product management, right?
That you would have wanted.
Exactly, right? And it's cool because I also have a direct line inside of engineering. So as I see things coming down the pike, I can give them feedback as well as put customers in touch. And, depending on what type of customer, like beta and things like that, they can also provide that feedback. So I'm doing my best internally to make sure that we wind up getting the voice of the customer to the product. And not only myself, other folks in my team, technical marketing, so Adam, Mike, Kyle, Eric, all those guys are also doing the same thing. We also have people like William as well, Alan. We're always trying to channel the voice of the customer inside, so that way at least everybody gets their say.
I love that. So you've seen so much change in this sort of transformation, like you said, from early on having to manage both hardware and software. Where do you think we're going? What's your prediction? Because it has moved so quickly from my perspective, and maybe it looks different from your seat, but you're very comfortable seat.
Yeah, no, I'm about ready to take a nap here in a minute. No, I think, again, workloads and mobility, and I think that's where we go, right? I mean,
Do you think it's become even more intensive? I would just sort of jump in and ask that. From your time as a customer to now, do you think that we're putting even more pressure on more and more diverse applications to be up, more uptime, more?
yes, especially, I mean, I've been fortunate in my career. I've worked for some large financial institutions, and they're like, I mean, if the app's down, you're losing a lot of money and customers and things like that, right?
Yeah.
So I've learned early on that making sure that applications are highly available and aware of what's going on and able to be distributed to where if a piece of it goes down, right? Not only just the app, but these are multi-tiered applications, and if a piece of it goes down, well, then it knows well enough to go and talk to its other counterparts somewhere else, and it doesn't matter where it's located. So placement, mobility, is a big thing, right? And able to get that up and running in a short period of time, because again, time equals money, and no business wants to be down to where they're losing millions and millions of dollars, right?
No, absolutely not.
So I think the cloud play that is also going to be valuable. So now that we've announced VMware Cloud on AWS, where customers don't even need education because they've already have that education internally because they have the VMware admin, right? So now having something like VMware Cloud on AWS, that workload mobility, we allow you to take your workloads that are on-prem and move them into the cloud. And it can actually be a round trip, right? So if they ever need to bring it back, they can, but they have that flexibility. And where most clouds, you can only move one way. Now we provide that bi-directional.
That's a lot of transformation in a very short time.
Yeah, and it's only going to get better.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me, and I'm about to take a nap, so good night.
When you're ready for your nap or your tech confession, please join us at TechConfessions the Show.com.